If you are interested in starting your own podcast, we use Buzzsprout because it is simple and easy to use. Buzzsprout can get your show listed on every major platform while giving you the resources for a great podcast website, audio players that can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening to your podcast, and tools to promote your episodes. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and that is why over 100,000 podcasters are already subscribed to Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Following the link in our episode descriptions lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you. So in return, you will receive a $20 Amazon gift card from Buzzsprout while signing up for a paid plan. Most importantly, every subscription through our link is always appreciated and helps support our show so we can continue delivering the quality content that you guys listen to. That being said, back to the show.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Junkies. I'm Andrew.
This is Joe.
And welcome in. To those of you brand new here, maybe you were drawn in by our new logo. By the way, old heads, hopefully you're cool with the change. It feels like a little bit more polished. That's how I feel. I feel like we're distinguished gentlemen. And we ain't going. I don't really
gotta
think
be
anything's
honest with
honestly
you.
changing.
I,
What?
I love it, but everybody I've asked doesn't like it.
I love it too.
We're keeping it.
We're keeping it. I'm glad that you rock with it because you know what? This is our choice.
Somebody
There,
told me I look Hispanic.
really?
Yeah.
I don't even get that. It's like one of them Rorschach tests.
I do wonder why I have a neck and you don't, but it don't matter.
It's realistic. You got more neck, dog.
Dang. What do I need more
Yeah,
neck for?
you know that is crazy because our neck was in not in our original either. So you just grew a neck. But besides the point, you know what? I think it brings the right vibe though.
They think
It's
I'm
more
part giraffe.
it's more accurate with you having the neck and me just floating.
Floating, bro.
Yeah, this is like Modoc. But yeah, no, I'm pumped about it. That was way too long of a spiel for just having a new logo, but there you go. There's your formal notice. We're going full steam ahead, whether you like it or don't.
Every Fortune 500 company does a rebrand every now and then, and we decided we needed a small little rebrand.
Yeah, we're throwing a new set of paint on there, a new little splash, and like here we are. Here we is. But besides the point, we're here today to discuss Comic-Con. Nothing major, just the good old if you're new around here, we love the Knights of Columbus. We are the Knights, the Vortex Alliance versus the Knights of Columbus. But we went there with our brother in arms, Juan, and Charlie. If you have been with us for a long time, Charlie was there as well. He did a very good Spider-Man movie review. Some real gems.
Yeah, probably our worst guest, but
Great guy.
Great guy.
But yeah, we
Down
all
for the
descended
cause.
upon Con. Unfortunately, Juan couldn't join us here today due to scheduling conflicts, but the two of us could not wait any longer. So we're going to share with you our thoughts, some of our big pickups from in and around this time, kind of see where we're at now. Because as is tradition, buy way too many books at the beginning of the year. You're like, oh shit, there goes half my top nine already.
I,
I need
I
to
would
slow
say
down.
our first 6 months are always top heavy.
Right around the new
But
year, I hit like a cycle.
yeah, I feel the same way because I mean, you just got that Christmas cash, that tax return, and whatever else, and you're just kind of ready to like get the book you've been thinking about for a long time, and then kind of see what comes along naturally throughout the rest of the year. But not only did we traditionally get the biggest books of the year in the beginning of the year, but I would argue the biggest books of our collection to date.
Yeah, honestly, very big year. Well, do we want to get into that or you want to, walk us down memory lane, talk about Con?
We could start with con.
Let's talk about
So
the
it
trip.
was Knights of Columbus had a con, and I think what inspired it is somebody that listens to the pod reached out to you, right? About a collection being brought up from out of state. It was supposed to be a bunch of old Silver Age stuff, but it was also supposed to be like kind of in rough shape. And I was interested in that. And we were all doing our fantasy baseball draft that week anyway. We were going to meet up at Twin Peaks and do
Yeah,
our
dude.
fantasy baseball draft. And
Got to get the sampler.
figured since the sampler was pretty close to the Knights of
The
Columbus
con.
con that we
It
had
was like
hit
a 5 minute drive.
both in one day.
Hit them both. It was like a small holiday. We had con in the morning and then we went directly to Twin Peaks to draft a fantasy baseball team. It was a good time. We even hit local comic shop on the way back for supplies. Joe had to get what, Mylars?
Yeah, I had to get Mylars and a cheap book.
I'm gonna have to get Mylar soon too, which sucks, but it's also cool. It means I need to slow down. But you know what I'm talking about, because there's like 100 of them in there. Or no, wait, is it 50?
I think
I
it's
don't know.
50. Either way.
Still, in a pinch, dude. Doesn't it feel silly putting a $5 one in there? Sometimes I'm like, damn, what am I doing here?
No, it makes me feel like it's an actual key when I do that.
I agree with you, but sometimes I'm just like,
It's
on the
silly,
margins
but
here.
it's also like, dang, now
It's so
this is a key
frivolous,
issue.
dude. I live in the land of excess.
What
Parents
wasn't a
can't touch
key
me.
is now a key.
Yeah, it's in a nicer bag now. Respect it. That's what they do for it. Damn, where was I? We're talking about Con, aren't we?
Yeah, we've been talking about
Yeah,
con.
shouts out
So,
Mun for the heads up
yeah,
because
so even though our brother Juan was not able to join us, he did meet up with us for the Knights of Columbus Con. In fact, he
he
was the
did.
first one there.
Yeah, he beat us to this punch, dude.
Silly
He'd
guy.
been there.
He
Joe went and Joe had to grab me and come out of the way a little bit so we could roll up as a posse with Charles.
Mans was
So
already
Juan was
there
already
though.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
Juan
was
had it
buying
scoped out.
books he already had, bro, just because his collection's so big.
Right. Yeah, he got some great stuff though. He got a book that I was gonna get, but instead I found what I found because I only got one book at the con, but it was a big one, something I big needed.
Yeah, so talk about your big need.
Spider-Man 18, first Ned leads. First 20 issues of Spider-Man. Come on now. And on my quest to be 3 through 20, I now only need issue 17 because I only need one more. I mean, getting a 1 and a 2 are obviously also part of the goal, but those are going to be a lot longer to get those. But you know what I mean? I mean, I'll take 3 through 20. That's a pretty solid run. I'll probably go beyond that after that, maybe 30, 50. I don't know. I might go for a little bit because Spider-Man's sick. But yeah, getting an 18 was huge. It was kind of more than I wanted to pay at con. I was planning to spend a decent amount less, probably about 2/3 as much at least, which I don't know.
But
But
it's a 5.5, isn't it?
it is. That was the problem. It looked nice and I got it down to a reasonable price. Yeah,
Did
it's sharp though.
did you get a discount on it?
I got like 50 off, so I'll take it. So it was cool. He said he's gonna get a 17, which I'm like, ooh, but I'm like, when's the next time I'm gonna see that guy? I don't think they have another con until the summer. But yeah, no, it was huge though because I was going there with the intent to get a 17 or 18. No one had a 17, and that was like the only nice 18 there, and it was just really nice. Well, really nice for me. A 5.5. I mean, I'm sure that might be mid grade to a lot of people, some big spenders, but screw it. I mean, the 5.5 is good by me, especially because I did feel weird though spending as much as I did on that as opposed to other top 20 books that I've bought that are like bigger and cooler, I would argue, because 18 is one of like the least I feel in the 1 through 20 run. And it felt weird to like spend on that and get like a really nice one for like no reason. Yeah, so I was like, whatever. But I got it as part of the collection. I feel like, you know, some decent looking Spider-Man will never go wrong, you know?
There is nothing wrong with high grade Spider-Man 1 through
No,
20.
I know. Yeah.
Don't
So,
overthink it, bro.
I know, but I
Of
guess
course, it's going to be nicer than some of the other ones that are more expensive.
I know, but it's just the principle. It's like, why am I spending more on this than I did that?
I don't know. I think it's a good buy.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I'm very pumped on it. It's one of my biggest books of the year because, like I said, now I only need 17. Second appearance of the Gobbler. Blah, 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 blah.
Whoa, what was that?
The Gobbler.
But
He
after
gobbles
that,
them. You heard it. Let the record show. But yeah, no, tell them about what you found though, because you were like milling around till the end. You were like on a mission, but like you're like, it's like when you ask your girlfriend what she wants to eat, and all she says is, "I don't know." Your girlfriend, your wife, but when you ask your wife where you want to go to eat, you're just like, "I don't know," and that was like you with like a bunch of books. You're like, You get real picky at that con. But you
it's that
found a
one only, bro. I get
I know
picky.
you get picky, dude.
At Knights of Columbus, I'm just like, no, none of this stuff is worth anything.
Even though you see a bunch of stuff that you would like, but you're just like, no, there's no chance I'm getting that today. It's like, why?
I've wanted that for years, and I'm like, no, not here, not today.
No, but tell them what you did find, because that was kind of a cool pickup. Like, I never see you kind of do that and kind of branch out in a more unexpected direction. Tell them what you
Yeah,
got.
it was between a few books because I only had $100 to spend really at the con because I had like a really substantial budget for the books I needed to get in the beginning of the year, and I blew it all on 2 books. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, this $100 is all I got left. So I got to maximize it. And there was a few tempting things. Like they had a Green Lantern issue 40 that I was really interested in for like $90. And it was like nice enough to buy, but it I would have preferred a nicer copy, even if it meant spending more. So that was an option. And then I feel like there was like one or two other things I was debating while I was there. There was a Daredevil issue 4. They
Oh
wanted
yeah.
200 for that, but he said he would give me a discount on cash. I was thinking about going slightly over budget for that because I have issues 3, 6, and 7. But at the same time, there's something about sticking to your guns and having integrity about your budget.
Integrity.
And I'm just like, okay, well, that's cool, but what else is there? And then we found this vendor that really enjoyed Juan, and he had some really good books for really cheap. Per
Yeah.
condition, they were pretty well priced, but I just wasn't interested in that low grade of stuff, even if it was books I was looking for. Then I finally found an Adam issue 1, which
Yeah.
is the first Plant Master.
Woodrue.
Yeah, which is really first Woodrue. So for those that listen to our Swamp Thing episode, kind of a cool character, honestly.
Yeah, he's sweet.
So Berger already got me the first Adam and Showcase too, and Juan bought a first Adam that day as well, right?
He
Yeah,
did because I ended up getting the Ned Leeds, and he's like, "Well, I'll go get that." Because if they didn't have a Ned Leeds, I told that guy, I was like, "I have to see if they have one of those." He was trying to sell me right on the spot that Adam, and I was like, "That would be sick," but I was like, I gotta hold out." I was like, "I didn't see everything yet," and he's like, "Oh," it's like, "Dude, shut up."
but yeah, so
I
I
wanted that. I wanted that bad. That was such a good deal. Like Juan got a pretty nice copy for what that guy was asking. He undersold that for sure because I was like, oh, that's too good to pass up. But I did anyway. But like, no, that's such a sick book to get for the price he got it, to be honest. Like that guy did have the best deals because he had the first app, what, Nightshade?
he did. That
He
was
had
one
one
of
of
the
those.
books.
It
I
was
first
cool.
Monel, a
I
bunch
would have
of
bought
like
all of those.
yeah, pretty good books, but I ended up going with the Adam issue 1. They wanted 150 cash, and I'm like, look, I brought $100 to con. I had like $8 just hanging out in my pocket. I'm like, so do we got a deal? And guy just gave it to me. He's like, get the hell out of here. And I said, sounds good. Say less. So I gave the dude 108 and walked out with the issue 1 of Adam. And I think that bang for buck was probably the best deal for the $100 because it was
Yeah.
pretty clean and you don't see them very often. And it's pretty old Silver Age stuff. So I left con pretty happy that day. Only the one book, but it got me juiced for the draft.
And that was like capping off after you already got two of your new bigger books. Do you want to talk about them?
So I guess I'll start with the biggest one. So an episode we really wanted Wallen to be on because I made a deal with him, but it was thanks to Berger. So I don't know if we ever talked about it on the pod, but there was one time that Berger and Juan went to our LCS without me because it was their
Yeah.
40th anniversary sale. And my brother bought first Wolverine there for like $700, which is unheard of. And that's his second copy of the book too. Like he didn't even need one. He just bought one.
I told him to.
I mean, for that price, it's okay to have a duplicate.
He tried talking him down, and then we went and like huddled over by the Batman bins, and I was like, "No, they'd never go for that price. If I don't buy that, you buy that." And he went over there and bought it.
Right? Like from my understanding, it wasn't even displayed. Like you guys asked
No.
him like what kind of
He-
stuff you guys had for the 40th anniversary sale, and they pulled that out and
yeah.
you guys negotiated it to like 700. So anyway, I just like Juan, you got 2 copies, hook a
Yeah.
brother up. And well, I think you were the one to propose that. And
Uh,
he hit us up a few days later and he's like, okay, I'm open to selling it.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, like in a week or two, went over there cash
Yeah.
and picked up a first Wolverine. So I think that's the biggest book in my collection. Probably
Yeah.
like
I
a
mean, that's pretty
3,
sick.
but
It's
it's
yeah.
it
Got the
presents pretty
stamp.
nice. It's got the stamp complete. So very happy about that because the floor for that book is so high. And
Yeah.
now it makes thumbing through my Hulk collection really cool because like you just always expect that that book would be missing when you're
Yeah.
flipping through Hulk keys and then it's there and you're like, whoa.
Whoa. Yeah.
So even bigger than the Brainiac I got last year. So I was very happy with that purchase. Thank you, Juan, if you're listening, for
Hell yeah.
making that happen. And then thank you, Berger, for the assist, bringing it up and in a
The
way where
point guard of comics.
yeah, Juan felt like it was okay to let go of one of his two copies. But it's in the family, which is important,
Yeah.
and I'm a big Hulk guy anyway, so that was really cool. The second major book I got this year was also thanks to Berger. I've been looking for an Invincible one since the beginning of season 3 for the TV show. I'm just like, this isn't going anywhere. Like he's got like a skin in Fortnite. He's like loved by
Yeah.
all ages, and the TV show's awesome. And I heard they're making a video game, and it's like approved for like a few more seasons, and they're gonna do stuff in the show that they didn't do in the comics. And I'm just like, this could be even bigger than The Walking Dead. This might be
Mm.
like the biggest asset to Image. And
Yeah.
the character design's really good. The show's awesome. So Berger was challenging me a little bit on it, and he's just like, for that much money, you should get a Silver Age book. He sent me a pretty cool listing for like a Silver Surfer and a few other major keys. I was looking at Green Lantern issue 1. I was looking at Lois Lane issue 1. And then ultimately, one night when I was working out, Berger sent me a text with a listing that was like absurdly low. And it must have been a fresh listing too, because I looked like 2 days prior and I did not see that book on there. And it had like 170, 180 views like when I was looking at it. And it was like in one person's card already. And I know that's eBay scams for you, but I was just like, somebody clearly wants to buy this. And it's the book I'm looking for, and it's in budget. So I just pulled the trigger within like 10 minutes of Burger sending it to me at the gym
Yeah.
and bought an Invincible one.
Yeah. That was damn near instant because I was like looking back at the listing and it was like already down. I was like, and then I texted you. I was like, you bought that. It says you didn't waste no time.
Well, I was scared it was going to be gone if I didn't just make a move. And
No,
he
that was
had like a
smart.
or best offer, and I was just like, no way am I about to
Sometimes you
like,
gotta bypass.
yeah, I was just like, what's to save $50 to just not get this book? And then now copies, like, it's not what the book's worth, but eBay's just cleaned out of them at this time. But like, people are charging like 2K plus for that book right now in that condition, or just in general,
Yeah.
which is insane. And mine's like a 9 or better. So I don't know. Burger really hooked me up this year. Right timing for all of that stuff. And I was just available for those opportunities.
I
And I
tee him
don't
up,
know
dog.
that that's like I don't think that's my second biggest book, but it definitely has the potential to be.
I agree. It's up there. And
For
that book's
being
pretty
modern,
liquid.
it's pretty
People will buy
decent.
that if it's on the market. Desirable. It's
Yeah,
hot
for
right
sure.
now. For
Yeah.
good reason. It's quality.
Yeah, it's
I
like
like
the
it.
only modern book that I think is like bulletproof other than issue 1 of The Walking Dead.
It's because it's gone into pop culture, like the mainstream.
Yeah. So
I mean,
yeah,
you
I
get,
mean, you
yeah.
first.
No, no, you first.
How polite. But no, those are my two big books that I got with my comic budget. I was really sad I couldn't fit in like a Showcase 9 or a Lois Lane 1, but I feel like those have already appreciated. They're not very
Yeah.
desirable books, but I'm a Superman guy, so I would love those. Not desirable, but like not lack of desirability, but you know what I mean. Like I don't think that they're gonna be on like any hot 10 list anytime soon, but still really solid books and stuff that I want in the near future, but pivoted towards a Wolverine and an Atom one and an Invincible one for my
Oh, wow.
for my comic budget this year.
That's sick. You crazy dog. That's cool though. That goes
Yeah,
hard as hell. You don't even gotta do much.
for the rest of the year. But enough about me, dog. Talk to me about the big book that you got.
Yeah, so I was just trolling eBay. I think this was this around when you were buying your books? I don't
This was a
recall.
little before I got the Wolverine or the Invincible.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think it's shoot back in February maybe. But yeah, I was just trolling eBay. Like I said, early part of the year, I'm tweaking, I'm looking on eBay. I'm like, ooh, time to spend money on a comic book. It's just so foolish. But I found a listing where it was like I don't even like saying the prices, but it was like 699 or best offer or 600 or best offer, I think. And it's Amazing Spider-Man 14, the first appearance of the Green Goblin. And so I just started chatting this guy up because he listed it as poor, like in bad condition. And I looked at all the pictures and he actually provided like a bunch of pictures that were like solid. And I even messaged him because it's a due process with every eBay purchase. Is this book complete and attached at the covers at both staples? And if they answer yes to everything, I'm good to go with it because if not, I'm holding that against them. There will be screenshots sent. Don't mess with me. Don't lie. Give me the refund. You can do it the easy way or you can do it the hard way. So I'm like protecting myself. And then now I'm just chatting up this guy and he's like really cool about it. And I send him an offer over because that's the best thing when an underpriced book, you just try and spend over and the guy will be like, sure, let's sell it. And so I sent an offer and he declined it, but with a note that I noticed, it only showed in like one part, so they almost duped me. And he says, "Yo, I added more pictures. Check this out. This is a lot of money for like a book this low grade." And he just sends it and everything's still attached and complete and like in good shape and like presents really well. And it just makes no sense. And so I sent him a slightly higher offer and he takes it. And I'm just like, no way. I did talk to him about not sending it via freaking like media mail. And then he still did. He gave me assurances that he wouldn't, and then he did anyways. And I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" Because that's like the only type of shipping that can get inspected like at random because it's supposed to be free, and then they'll charge you like the extra shipping if it's not if it's because it has like coupons and stuff or like advertisements in it. So it doesn't count. So it's like you can't ship them media mail. And when people do that, it's just like, oh, wow. Because like, what if they rip open all the boxes and stuff and they just like fucking fold my Green Goblin in half and put it back in there? It's like, because you see how people handle books that don't know what they're doing. It's like, oh, dog, don't fucking mangle it. So I was nervous as hell. I was getting pissed, but then it showed up perfect condition. I opened it. It's so much nicer than you could ever imagine for the price. Like, I'll just say that it's at least worth double what I paid, which I'm not like trying to say I ripped this guy off. I still spent a large amount of money that guy seemed happy with, but I got a really nice deal on that. So usually that's the most I've ever spent on a book is my Green Goblin. And I don't like doing that. Going that hard makes me feel gross, but that was like I have to seize the opportunity because I did miss it with my Daredevil one back in the day at that Michigan Comic Con at the Kobo Arena. And then I did miss out on the Hulk because I was standing right next to one and could have purchased it myself, but did not. And then I was like, well, third time's a charm. I saw since I like lucked my way into getting this deal on the Green Goblin, which would have been the same price as the Wolverine anyways. I was like, you know what, I could do that. And it came here and it was better than I could ever imagine. And big one to knock down for the first 20 issues. So I'm very pumped to have gotten that, especially because I just got issue 16 at the end of last year and 18 at this con. I'm just looking for 17. I did get a couple smaller but still decent sized books. My Showcase 30, Silver Age Aquaman tryout, cool yellow cover. I mean, it's the first time he's got like his own solo book. Pretty sick, especially because I followed it up with the Adventure Comics 260, the first Silver Age origin of Aquaman, first Queen Atlanta. It's when he's Arthur Curry. It goes hard. So I kind of doubled down on Aquaman as well. And then most recently, sleeper book alert for those of you who don't know. Challengers of the Unknown 3. It's a cool early Challengers book who are sweet and their first appearance is super expensive. But it's also like a prototype book for the Fantastic Four, which we need to have an official stance that we prefer prototypes to origins.
Are you asking for my buy-in?
I'm just saying.
I'll stamp that for sure.
Cool. They move ahead, but they're also not as desirable as like a cool cover or first appearance. Like deliberately seeking out a prototype, but I think that this one is cool and specific just because it's like Kirby did it like 3 years prior to the Fantastic Four. And Rocky goes to space and comes back with 4 powers, though he doesn't turn into a rock, but invisibility, body enlargement, shooting flames. But yeah, just a sleeper book, especially because like they go for way more than you'd expect because it's a Challengers book.
Did our LCS sell their first Challengers already?
They may have. I see the second appearance, which I want that cover too. That one's cool. I like the yellow covers. But I think they may have. I didn't see it displayed in the counter. But
Two questions
who knows?
before we close this boy out. Now you have issues basically 3 through 20. You're just missing
Yeah.
one, which makes the Goblin way cooler for you. Now, don't think about your own collection in this instance because your goblin's way nicer than your issue 3. But what do you think the best book is between 3 and 20? Do you think it's issue 3 or issue 14?
That's tough. I feel like the book to have is 14. I would argue between 14 and 2. 14 for sure. I don't know. It's like a heads or tails because I feel like technically the Doc Ock might be the better book, but
Maybe because it's older, but to be
it's still
honest, I
pretty
think
early.
people like
Goblin.
Goblin even more than Octopus, even though Octopus might be his most notorious villain. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Like, if you were
Got
to,
both.
it's like 1A, 1B, but you got
Yeah,
both. My
both of them.
second question, kind of off topic, but you said something that made me think of it. What's your favorite color for a comic book cover?
I don't know if I could say offhand. Do you have yours?
No, I just thought of it.
Oh, damn. My mind is leaning blue and yellow for some reason. Something about the yellow colors pop, but then blue is so classic as well, like the Thor covers, and I'll even have those. Yeah, I don't
Off
know.
rip, I was gonna say purple for me. Is that crazy?
Purple,
I don't
purple,
even like the
nurple.
color purple. It's like one of my least favorite colors for those that
Damn,
care. But yeah, like that Beast Boy first appearance is like a sick cover.
that
Even
one
though I
is
don't really
cool.
care for Beast Boy. Like the Brainiac cover is pretty sick. And then you got that Joe Fixit cover that's purple. I could be wrong, but off rip, maybe
Rip
purple.
Hunter has got purple. Yeah, I don't know, dog.
Something to think about.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to think about it harder.
We got a lot to be proud of,
I was
including
just
our
re
brand new picture.
I was just reporting in. I wasn't braggadocious.
Sorry for how boastful Burger's been this whole episode.
Yeah. Well, if you want to reach us, go to CBJ Pod and go look at our new logo and be like, wow, I could save that as my wallpaper. And then go after you set your wallpaper to our new logo. Then you go to the review section, you punch in 5 stars, you say thank you in the review. And then you guys rule. And then we're like, hell yeah, dude. And then 5 stars review, tell your friends, tell everyone, make a
Hey,
post on social media and tag your entire friends list.
anybody that screenshots it as their background picture on their phone, even if it's just for a second, shout out next episode. Promise you.
Oh wow, what an incentive. I want to hear my name from you. Say my name, Joe. But anywho, if you want to do that, you could do that at our social media. I guess send us a DM if you want to do that. That's at CBJ Pod. You'll know by the logo it's new. I'm stupid.
Bro, now
But
nobody's gonna do it because of you.
do it and
Do it.
yeah. All right, dog. Got me losing steam here at the end, going off the rails. But yeah, do that. We appreciate you. Thanks for listening as always. We'll hit you next time with something great.
Like we always do. Later, guys.
Later.